Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming out 39. We have done already 39 pitch events, but today I'm very excited because our first one dedicated only to Africa founders. So in Equity Match, we have a great effort to help founders wherever they come from, but even more when we can make a very good impact. So impact for Africa, this is what we are going to deliver today. And we have four great founders that are coming to pitch, and they great and absolute ideas. So I want to start with our first founder, which is Moses Kazaza. Moses is the founder of Fremos Microfinance Ltd, headquartered in Kampala, Uganda, financial services, seed around USD 200K. How's it going, Moses? Let's wait for Moses. I think we're missing Moses, right? Uh, some connections problem. All right. So we move to the next one, and after we come back to Moses, soon as Moses is back with us. Effort Taiwa, founder of Proxy Fidelity Services, headquartered Ankara, Ghana, professional services, pre-seed around USD 100K. How's it going, Effort?
Hi everyone, my name is Hayford, founder of Proxy Fidelity. I'm here seeking $100,000 for a 5% stake in my business.
Let's give an introduction to yourself, Effort, and after a bit of who you are, and after please go straight to pitch, okay?
So my name is Hayford, the founder of Proxy Fidelity Service, an African-based business. We are a professional service where we take projects for Africans in the diaspora who remit monthly to undertake projects and services. Without much ado, I'll proceed to my presentation. So Proxy Fidelity started in the year 2021. That was when the idea has moved into prototype. And the story behind it is that we helped an African American who was defrauded of $20,000. And in that, we conceived a business idea. And someone asked me, what's the problem you are trying to solve? Africans in the diaspora who send money back home have always have issues with crisis of trust. And this crisis of trust can be attributed to misappropriation of funds, poor accountability, conflict of interest, and the hassle of assembling trustworthy professionals to undertake the project. So what do we bring up with? We brought an online cloud platform which allows our clients in any part of the world to access our platform, place in project requests, track and trace. And this is how the user interface is. They can track every project that they undertake on our platform. So someone will be asking, how are they going to track if they are not there? We use body worn camera when we're on the field, including project supervisors, and we use only online payment. This is to enable us to track and report every transaction made on behalf of the client. With this, we also have a project report that we submit to our client for them to know the status of every project we undertake with. This is a confirmation that this is not a business idea anymore, but there's a ready market for this demand. And with a simple click on challenges faced by Africans in the diaspora, you have multiples of articles to read from. This is the target market. It has a 49 billion per annum market. And we are looking to start from Ghana as the founder of this project with plans to expand to these six amazing African countries and Nigeria being the topmost. Our milestones, we've been able to develop the prototype, move from prototype to beta state, and we have plans to expand and officially land the business in the year 2022. So with the support of our partners coming on board, we'll be able to actualize this dream into a reality. And our business model is modeled around several business models, which is comprises of business to business and business to consumers. And in that, we have remote due diligence for landed property, remote monitoring services as well too. We have remote pay as you go construction services and remote facility services. Not to talk of international business expansion and e-procurement services and private facilitators. Our revenue model is subject to four different angles, which are commission from subcontracted jobs, subscription fees from artisans and users, and renting of equipment and the service fee as well too. This is a 5 years projection, and in the fourth year of our operation, the business anticipates $2.5 million. This is based on the average fee we receive per project that we undertake, and we multiplied it by the projected number of prospective client that will be receiving in the 4 years due course. And our target market are Africans in the diaspora and the expatriate communities who remit back home to undertake projects and services. As a business, we also believe in an SDG, and our SDGs are stated here, which is poverty, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, industrialization and infrastructure, and reduce inequality. Our competitor analysis even speaks for itself with the technology, the track and trace, financial monitoring, insurance that we have, dedicated client relationship manager. We have the first movers advantage as well too. And how the funds will be used. That will be business operation, digital marketing, research and development, referral program, and sales promotion. Behind the success of this project is the amazing team that comprises of three out of this team have experience in setup on startup ecosystem. So we are not coming from a first time generation, but rather having multiple experience from running several startups. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Effort. Thank you very much. Let me start with the motivation. Why are you doing this? What is
So,
behind? What moves you?
what moves me personally, I'm a person of integrity, and not just a person of integrity. I also feel the empathy when Africans in the diaspora and expatriate come into our country and continent and complain bitterly about coming to invest in the continent, trying to send money to improve the lives of the people in the continent, and they are being shortchanged, defrauding here and there. They don't have a centralized or a standardized business that can support them to find their way around the system and structures which are legally. So we was like, why don't we build a business that will support them so that their hard-earned money will not go to waste, but rather it will be able to improve the local economy, not just Ghana, but within the South region as well too.
I mean, what's the user journey? If I want to sponsor, I suppose, a project on your platform, what should I do?
It's so simple. You come onto our web platform. When you place a request, usually it comes in a request form. We get your request. A client relationship manager will reach out to you based on the contact information you shared with us. We get to know your concern. So every project is special. We don't use one way project to undertake every client request. Every client is special. So we undertake your project request. We go on the ground to confirm the project request. We inform you the project request, the timelines, the duration, and projected expenditure. So this is what we have the financial monitoring. Projected expenditure doesn't mean is the actual expenditure. So when the project begins, there's a financial monitoring that corresponds with the projected expenditure and the financial monitoring. So it shows that we projected 10,000 cities to undertake project A, but in the due course of our project and project monitoring, we spent $5,000. So the client has in excess of $5,000, which they can recoup their investment. Not in the other way where people give you a projected expenditure and the project might not be up to the projected amount and they pocket the remaining amount. We are more of telling our client that when you come on our platform in any part of the world, you can access your project by accessing the project body worn camera footage. So you can see the videos, you can see the pictures, you can see the project report, and you can track the project financials being paid. As I stated earlier on, we don't use cash payment, we use online payment. So clients can track every transactions that are made on their behalf. They can track the recipients of the funds, being vendors or suppliers.
So are you going to analyze and make sure that the projects are real? The money are spent, they are going to spend the money as they declare they are going to.
Yes, please. Yes, please. So client get value for money. So what we did was we used the body worn camera, the daily report, and the financial payment. So this thing always reconcile. If there is any reconciliation error, then that means something went wrong. But on our platform, it's not so. There's always reconciliation because when we are making payment, our body worn camera is capturing all activities. Client can see we being at the vendor shop. Client can see us moving from our office to the site, project site, any other project that comes about. So our project can vary from, let's give you a classic example. A client wants to buy a landed property. When I say landed property, is buying a piece of land in the capital. Buying a piece of land, we do due diligence first. So the due diligence vary. We have several institutions that we have to write an official letter indicating to confirm the seller of the land is the true owner of the land. And if they are true owner of the land, have they used the property for any collateral? Are there any legal precedent on this property in question that it will lead to multiple litigation? We do all these things, and the body worn camera captures it. All our expenditure, we use online payment, we use internet banking. So every payment is done through the business name, and reference is used by the corresponding client. So clients will be able to track, and we are very frugal with our clients' money. So we just don't use their money just because the client has sent money, but we treat the business as our own. So in one of our places, we have it, the ownership mentality. We own the business for the client.
I mean, you already have some, for this my understanding, already you're running some project. What's the average size and which kind of project are coming to your platform today?
So the most frequent one is the due diligence because that's the basic one that happened. When we mention due diligence, the due diligence is in twofold: due diligence in landed business and due diligence in international business expansion. So let me start with the landed business property. So we have a client. He is from the United States of America, and someone was selling him 4 plots of land that makes it an acre. And in that 4 plots of land, he wanted to verify that if he's dealing with the true owner of the land. And in his haste, he nearly made a transaction worth 120,000 cedis. In 120,000, when you convert it into the dollar, it will roughly be around $12,000. And in his haste, he nearly made. But when he came to us, we started doing due diligence and digging up information, and we discovered that the person claiming to be selling the land, though he has the land document, the name of the land is not registered in his name. And the history shows that this land is in question, is in court, being claimed by 3 other people. So we advise the client that these are our revelation. If you want to proceed with this project, you'll be risking your $12,000 as compared to there are other alternative places you can invest your property, your investment without running at a loss. And with that, he spent less than $200 and he saved himself $12,000. So this is what we did, and without even stepping a foot to Africa, all the way in the US. And meanwhile, a round trip from US, from Georgia State to Ghana and returning to the US will cost between $1,005 to $2,000, not to talk of their hotel bills and their movement fees.
Efo, thank you so much. Stay with us because we are all back soon. And I'm moving to our next founder. So let's wait for Lidel Kelly, founder of NALDCCAM. He owned the Cameroon Agritech, pre-seed around 2050, 100K in USD. How's it going, Lidel?
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you very much, sir.
Thanks to
I
you.
am Lidel Kalito, the CEO of Tutsen Agricultural and Livestock Development Corporation, Cameroon, where we are introducing the industrial production and transformation of root and tuber crops into high-quality flour, starch, gari, pastries, and pet food. I would prefer to tell this story in my way, sir, without basically going through the pitch deck. The central region of Cameroon is quite ideal for cassava production and has fertile soils and more arable land than the other regions. Absence of dense equatorial forests make the agricultural practice easier with reduced environmental consequences and the possibility of using tractors and bulldozers with ease. The central regions control the place amongst the top producers of cassava in Africa. Cameroon is ranked 36th in agricultural potential by the Food and Agricultural Organization, and 13% of total land area of the country, which is having a total land area of 475,650 kilometers square, comprises arable land, giving a total of 61,834 kilometers of arable land. This is therefore abundance. There is therefore abundance of fertile land, and many farmers grow cassava as one of their staples. Adding to its potential to produce adequate quantities of cassava, Cameroon provides an ample market for cassava starch and flour with an annual consumption by its industries of about 125,000 tons of starch and 500,000 tons of cassava flour. Despite the high cassava production and potentials and the flour available in the market, Cameroon still imports virtually all the starch and the cassava flour used by the industries. The very few enterprises involved in the processing of the cassava are basically small enterprises that they use artisanal tools. Therefore, it is on this backdrop that we are introducing the industrial production of flour, cassava starch, cassava pet food, and gari. Since this idea came into our minds in 2022, where we were farming cassava and we decided to prototype 1 ton of 50 bags of cassava flour to use as offering. It was surprisingly that the bakeries, the Nestle company, and the brewery industries in Cameroon, like Guinness, started showing interest that it is good, we should go into an industrial production. So we decided to step into the market by enrolling in the Founder Institute, which we have successfully graduated, and we have purchased 2,700 hectares of land for the production of cassava, because the basic challenge we have in Cameroon is the provision of the raw materials. Once you have the cassava tubers, you are fit to go. As our business model, we will be producing 30,000 tons of cassava flour from 120,000 tons of cassava tubers. And a price of 1 ton of cassava flour is valued at 811 the USD. We'll be putting into the market 115 tons of cassava starch, valued at 657 USD. Pet food, which is some processed cassava peelings, we'll be putting in the market 240 tons, valued at 131 USD. And white and yellow gari, we'll be putting in 480 tons, valued at $728 USD, the USD. We have as business model to produce and supply to our business transaction will be B2B. That is, we'll be supplying directly to the bakeries, the Nestle company, paper board that they themselves they will use now to process into other produce. The total market size for the total addressable market size for cassava is valued at 362 billion, because 800 million people consume the cassava product worldwide. In Africa, 500 million consume the cassava products, which is valued at 342 billion. And in Cameroon, out of the 10 regions, we are targeting 7 regions with a service obtainable market of 35 million USD. We have as competitors Kiki and Sons, Afro Brains, and Graceland Agro Investment Group. All of these small firms are located in the city areas, and they don't have their farms they produce. Therefore, they have to go and buy the cassava from the interior and transport. Transportation into the interior incur charges with the transport cost. But we have a market advantage over them, because we will be producing our own the raw materials, and we have signed contract with the local small-scale farmers that they equally produce the raw materials. This will give us the opportunity to sell at lesser prices than they do. Our go-to-market strategy will be cold calling. We will call our suppliers or our buyers directly. We shall equally between direct sales, like selling directly to the bakeries, and we will use emails to target them, and outbound, or we use some agri shows, as we usually call in Cameroon, where we do demonstration of our products that we put in the market. We have as team myself, Lidel Kelito. I have 8 years in the field in this particular domain, because we started since in 2012, like a common initiative group, before moving into a company to do business now. We have Amma Stephanie, who is the accountant. We have Chinda Nelson Kenko, who is the project manager and has been in the field for close to 7 years now, managing the agricultural activities in the field. We have Ngenyo Lucy, the environmental scientist, and we have Atopsia Gable Brenda, the agronomist. For us to produce the cassava, we are seeking an equity rate of 100,000 US dollars, which will help us to purchase parameters that can help open up the multiplication of the seed farm, produce organic manure, farm competitions like opening the farm, clearing and felling down the trees. And we are equally seeking a loan of 900,000 US dollars to purchase the transformation machines from China that we have made contacts with. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lidel. Thank you so much. Let me start with you as well. Motivation, right? It's so important what motivates you to do what you're doing today. So, what brings you here, and why you have launched your venture? What's the main motivation behind?
Okay, so I realized a serious challenge that our mothers and the youth produce cassava. We produce food, but every year we still complain of hunger, food insecurity. So as we started the Common Initiative Group in 2012, and our main aim was to train the farmers on smart agriculture. So we discovered that the farm they produce, but they still have post-harvest challenges because there are no ready markets and they lack the tools to process them. This gave us the zeal to step into it and see how we can actually look for the means that these local farmers, they can have a ready market for their raw materials, and we can equally process the raw materials to ready food that is food secured and healthy. So this is what prompts me to step into the market. So stepping into this business line is because I want to reduce post-harvest challenges. I am working towards food wastage. I am working towards seeing how we can try and reduce hunger in Cameroon. Likewise, I am working to see that the food we consume is secured, because the local means they use in processing the cassava is poor. You have to soak it, you allow it for 3 days for it to get soft, you match it and use bags to squeeze it. So with all these processes, some people consume and they say it gives them typhoid. So that is why we say we should develop a means where we can source and have this stainless steel machine to process this cassava into flour.
You are producing both raw materials and the ultimate product. So,
Yes.
what's the best model in between? Are you going to sell both, or are you going only to sell the production and not the raw material that allows you to produce?
No, so our aim is to produce the raw material, equally process it and sell, because we have realized that if we rely only on the farmer, they cannot give the quantity that the machines we are sourcing for can produce. Because for instance, for you to produce 1 ton of cassava flour, you need 4 tons of cassava tubers. So if you are having a machine that processes 8 tons per hour, therefore you will need high production of the raw materials. So for us to have that constant supply, though we have contract with the farmers, but it will be good we have our own farm that can be used for demonstration.
I mean, in terms of land, are you going to buy all the lands, or are you going to lease them? How does it work?
We have already leased the land 2,700 hectares at Lakbang in Nanga and Bokwe in the central region of Cameroon that we are currently working on it. Now we want to open up 160 hectares for seed multiplication, where we'll plant the cassava to multiply the stems and distribute to the various local farmers that they will be farming. Because there is this particular species that we have to farm, because in cassava, it is not all of the species that is good for processing.
Okay. So you need to select also the species.
Exactly, sir.
Now, in terms of funding, who are the investors you're looking for?
At this particular moment, we are still looking for angels, so because this is the first time we are raising. And practically speaking with you, when we came out with this idea, we had to approach the Ministry of Mines and Technological Development in Cameroon. They validated the project. It was perfect because it is along the line of the Sustainable Development Plan for the importation substitution, since the prices of wheat flour is increasing. So when we met the ministry, they were perfect and they have given us that go ahead and that opportunity. So we are basically looking for angels to pick up the barrel because we are still at that stage sourcing to have the machines.
Do you want to expand in all Africa and beyond one day?
Perfectly said. If you see the market for just cassava, the cassava starch worldwide, it is 160 million, 160 million tons, and Cameroon basically export only 200. Therefore, there is a wide gap in the market. So if we produce the cassava, since we have the raw material and we export, you see that we have a very good quality, sir. So we intend to cover the market worldwide.
Lidel, thank you so much. Stay with us. We are all back soon. Thank you.
I am grateful, sir.
Thank you. We are moving to our third founder, Ordani Yassine, co-founder of Fennec Agriculture, Algeria, Agritech, pre-seed, 70 million USD. How's it going, Yassine?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for accepting my invitation to present our project. My name is Ordani Yassine. I am from Algeria. The name of our company is Fennec Agriculture. We are specialized in produce the best fertilizer in the world. So,
please go.
Yeah, the name of our company is Fennec Agriculture. Our slogan is the nature of the earth. So let me explain the problem of sustainable agriculture around the world. The first problem is the water. There is 2.3 billion people already live in water-stressed countries. The second point is the land. 40% of our planet's land is already used for agriculture, so we can afford to clear more land to grow food. Meanwhile, monoculture, soil erosion, and over-intensive farming are destroying the land we have, making it unsuitable for farming. The third problem is the climate. So the changing rainfall patterns and frequent droughts and creating unpredictable weather, which lead to less stability in our entire food chain. So for farming communities to survive and thrive, they must reduce their dependence on the weather and take an active countermeasure. So the big problem is the soil health. So as you can see, there is 13 disequilibrium of the nature ecosystem problem who can destroy our soil and our land. So this consequence, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United States, there is more than 18 million empty plains in 2021. So there is a food insecurity map. If you can see in this percentage, the food insecurity is based in Africa with 15.7 average, 15.8%, and the second country is Latin America and Caribbean, and you can see the third percentage is Asia with 24 percentage. So according to the same organism, there is 28 million hunger in the world. So as you can see, the same percentage, only Africa is affected, and the second place is Asia and Latin America. So we have an innovation to resolve this problem. So we invented BioSmart fertilizer is an organic-based liquid fertilizer, stimulator, and natural soil regenerator, or the nature of the earth. So it contains a concentrate of enzyme and mixture as rich as varied in mineral elements, vitamin in varying amount, especially those of group B, which further increase its nutritional value. It is an example of pathogen and harmful bacteria. It is a revolutionary fertilizer that gives excellent results and increase the yield of crops by multiplying production to a period of time between 15 to 12 days. So BioSmart fertilizer does not contain any GMOs, that's genetically modified organisms. So it has the same properties as found in the soil and human. So how BioSmart fertilizer works? We can the first point is to we must apply it directly on the soil with the first watering or dripping irrigation system. It's nourished the soil in mineral like potassium, calcium, sodium, sulfur, magnesium, iron, copper, phosphor, and else. Also with vitamins in varying amount, especially those of vitamin B. It in appreciable amount with carotenoid, which further increase its nutritional value. So the soil become more resistant to all kinds of bacteriological disease. Between parentheses, he strengthens the human system of the earth, and by regenerating it more naturally. So the second role of BioSmart fertilizer, the plant gets mineral elements, vitamin and carotenoids just after 54 hours of soil irrigation. They mature quickly and gain height 10 centimeters more there, compared with other crops. In 15 to 12 days, compared to the plants not watered by BioSmart fertilizer. So this plant receive the same nutriment, making them more resistant to bacterial disease. No need the farmer. No need for pesticide or insecticide. So more resistant for growth. The plants imitate the soil as the man imitates the woman. So the third point, more important, is agriculture is the one of the largest user of surface water and groundwater. So BioSmart fertilizer preserve water in the soil. So this is some specification of our project. So grow wild, sustainable living soil for all growing condition, human system, so strengthen the human system of the earth and the plants by regenerating it more naturally. Ditch toxic chemicals, so boost plant health, resilience naturally. So preserve water, as you can see, preserve the water in the soil. And not contain, as you can see, as I can explain, not contain any genetically modified organisms. So why our slogan is the nature of the earth. So as you can see, the project composition, it's contain nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, manganese, copper, a sort of humic, and the rest in the water. But we have two secret sauce in this project. We have soil regenerator and stimulator. We have soil bio-regenerator and stimulator. And we have the second biostimulator for the plants. We have two elements in this project composition. So instruction for you, so you can dilate 1.5 liters of BioSmart fertilizer with 30,000 liters of water, then irrigate 1 hectare of the agricultural area with this mixing organic fertilizer. So the result will be obtained in 15 to 12 days. So there is 18 project feature. Let's concentrate to the best of these features. Like does not contain any genetically modified organisms, stimulate the natural self-defense mechanism of plants, strengthen the human system of plants, and improve the health of crops. like it regenerate the soil structure necessary for optimal plant growth.
We are running out of time. If you close after the Q&A, okay?
Yeah. As you can see, there is two experience. We have our farmland based in Algerian deserts. So we have 14 hectares of land, and we do experience, as you can see, we had farmland without biosmart fertilizer, and in the next image, this image, we had farmland with biosmart fertilizer. You can see really in this video. This is without biosmart fertilizer, and this with biosmart fertilizer.
Thank you, Yasin. Please, let me follow up with a couple of questions, okay? So we can leave space to that funder. We still have another funder, and after with the closing.
No problem.
Today I'm sticking with motivation. So what's your motivation for doing this?
Motivation. So this project is invented by Dr. Boumediene Makhloufi. He is based in Algeria. He is an inventor based in Algerian desert in Algeria. He invented this project using the natural plants around his environment.
Now, in terms of technology, what's your involvement with the company, and who owns all the receipt when it comes to your plans?
This is our team management. Dr. Boumediene Makhloufi is the inventor, and this is me, Yasin Ordani. I am business development manager. So we invented this project in Algeria, and we have tried in several crops. We have average 10 testimonials in Algeria in vegetables, fruits, and cereals and other crops. And with the good result, and especially with we produce healthy food because our project is organic, so it's bio project.
In terms of business model, how does it work?
Yeah, the project is work. Yeah, this project exists average 2 years. Yeah.
And are you making any money?
Yeah, exactly. We have because we have our farmland, and we sell this project to other farmers, and we have return on investment in the brief times. It's varied 15 to 12 days. Because this project boosts the mechanism of plants.
I mean, in terms of investments, you are looking for 70 million USD for exactly doing what?
Yeah, because we aim to have our because Algeria is the biggest country in Africa. With our smart laboratory, we can't cover Algeria, and we aim to go to Africa, because as you can see, the problem of poverty and is only based in Africa, Latina and American Latina, and some countries in Asia. So to cover all these countries, we need to have a big manufacturing in order to export our project, and we have two business units. So we produce biosmart fertilizer and we sell it, and we produce our healthy food, and we sell it to other countries like for example, like Dubai in UAE. So there is some people who use our vegetables and our fruits. As you can see, Algeria can produce tropical fruits because this project is. We can use this project to produce. as you can want in crops, and we can do it, for example, in hot climate, or in cold climate, or this project. We tried this project in several environments. So we need this money in order to develop our project around the world, not only based in Algeria. We need as you can see, our goal, as you can see it in this slide, according to Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, from United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Our goal is to ensure food security, food sovereignty, and food self-sufficiency around the world.
Let me, this is my last question. After you run, please answer to me very concise and very fast. Now, how much in consumption of water is saved, and how much can be more produced in terms of productivity?
Okay, so you can save 18% of water, because as you can see in this,
no sharing slide now, no worries.
Okay. So you can save, you can save 80% of water, because the plants or the crops will be more resistant for weather, hot, cold, or other diseases. So because it increases the human system of the crops. And the second question, can you repeat it, please?
There is an increase in productivity.
Yeah, we can produce, for example, for wheat, in 1 hectare, according to the statistics in Algeria. There is some farmers produce wheat in Algeria. He produce 16 quintals in 1 hectare. But with this project, with this fertilizer, we can produce 100 quintals in hectares. So the second point is very important. We can have through 2 seasons, because it increase and boost the crops and the plants. So we can, for example, have to have a harvest in the season. We can have two seasons with wheat and other projects. We try it in Algeria, yeah, especially in Algerian desert, because there is, as you can see in this.
We had to go now because we need to.
Yeah, there is water in Algeria. There is a lot of water, and very large land in Algeria. It's the biggest country in Africa. Thank you, Mr. Massimiliano.
Yeah, don't go, please. We are all back soon. Stay with us.
No problem.
We are moving to our last, but absolutely not the least, Moses Kazana, founder of Fremus Microfinance Ltd, Kampala, Uganda, financial services seed around 200K in USD. How's it going, Moses?
It's fine. How are you, Max? Thanks for the opportunity.
Good. Thank you so much for coming, Moses. Please, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after, don't wait for me, just go to pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. I'm Moses Kasasa, one of the founders of Fremus Microfinance. Fremus is found in Uganda. We have microfinance Tier 4 license, and we are operating in the central region of the country. We've been in operations for 4 years, and we want to move into agriculture financing, but this is a strategic move we are taking. If you look at this statement, real nutrition comes from soybeans, not from the udder of the cow. Precisely, this is a statement that took us into looking at 3 value chains, strategic value chains. And the first one is soybeans, then we are looking at dairy, and then we are looking at beef. For soybeans, we selected this value chain because soybeans are quite a valuable crop in terms of nutrition. They are very nutritious, and they can be used for both animal and human feed. And at the moment, the demand for soybeans in the East African region, Uganda inclusive, is 480,000 metric tons. But in Uganda, we are producing 90,000 metric tons. Combined, the region is producing 270. So there is a shortfall. And it is estimated by 2030, the demand for soybeans in the East Africa region will be at 1 million metric tons. So for us, we have ventured into this strategic and very good crop to see that in the next 3 years, we step up production to 250,000 metric tons. Soybean, the demand for cooking oil, vegetable oil, is also on the increase. At the moment, the demand for vegetable oil in the region goes up to around 750 metric tons. But at the moment, the region combined produces even below 300,000 metric tons. So you can see the versatility, the demand, and the various products that this crop can make. So we are investing in it. And we are investing also in dairy. And in dairy, our entry point is going to be in the animal feeds. We are going to look at the production, commercial production of silage. Why silage? At the moment, dairy cattle has not been fed properly, and as such, the milk production is still low. So when we support the commercial production of silage, it's going to step up the production of milk. There is also a very big market for silage in our neighboring country in Kenya, because it's very expensive to produce silage in Kenya, yet it's quite competitively done here in Uganda. And also we are going to look into dairy, beef. Beef also, we are going to look into the use of inoculants. And we are partnering with a company called Soya Solutions East Africa, who is an agent of Star Labs Forage Research Incorporated. It's a company that produces these probiotics. It's based in the US and has been doing this research for the last 40 years. So we are partnering with solid companies, with solid products, so that we scale our productivity. We want to increase production, as I said, to 250,000 metric tons, and also we anticipate revenues of up to 620,000 US dollars per annum, growing at 40%. So this will create revenue. It creates assurance for the investor, because we are here to raise 200,000 US dollars. There's a large market for soybeans in the region, and Framos Microfinance, we are having a highly skilled, trained, and networked team that is going to scale the company. So if you come and invest with us, you will not go wrong. Framos Microfinance, we are going to do all this in the northern part of the country as well as the western. And in this silage production, we are looking at the youth. At the moment, there is a very big unemployment problem in our country. And once we engage the youth through providing them commercial equipment that produces silage commercially, then we shall have relief up to close to between 8 and 15% of unemployment of the youth who are not even skilled, but can be trained to use these equipment to produce silage and earn an income. So please, we ask you to invest with us so that we can take this company places. As Framos Microfinance is a nucleus agriculture bank. At the moment, in our country, we do not have an agriculture bank, and agriculture financing is quite a challenge. Everyone tries to avoid it, but we have made some research, and we know our entry points, and we know how to scale it, and we know which strategic value chains we can support to propel agriculture, because food, there is an inelastic demand for food. And so that's where we have strategically moved to support. So we kindly ask you to come in and support us so that we can scale the production of these value chains and take financial services down to the the small-scale farmers, because these are the livelihoods of the farming engines in the low development countries. Thank you so much. We are looking for 200,000 US dollars.
Thank you, Moses. We have some more time for a couple of questions. Now, where are you standing today? Do you already have the funding to invest in farmers?
Yes, we started with small monies that we managed to save, and that is what we are using, but it's not sustainable. That's why we are coming out to have the investors who can really be convinced with what we are doing, because in this side of the world, most of the farmers are small scale. And once we go down with them, we organize them so that we have sustainable production, which sustainable production is going to drive processing, agriculture processing. It's going to be sustainable, and it's got a profitability that can be picked out of it.
In which way are you looking? Which kind of money are you looking for? Loans or participations in equity? How these investments should look like when be given to you?
Max, we would not have a problem either way it comes, but participation would be very good, because when people come and join us, they come with a lot, they come with skill, they come with networks, they come with exposure, they come with links, and we stand to benefit significantly. And at the end of the day, it is a win-win, because we do not have at this small stage to start paying back loans and depleting the company. But once people come and join us and they participate, and along the way they get convinced and they continue to add in.
In terms of revenue, how do you generate your revenues?
For the first year, once we get this money, we look up to generating revenues of gross revenues of up to 620,000 US dollars. And this is projected to grow at 40% per annum, because on average we have 2 seasons. And we are targeting 40,000 farmers, starting with 2,000.
In terms of financing, are you giving to them loans, or do you participate in the project, in the wherever it is?
We fully participate with them. We just have to agree on once they come in, how do we reorganize ourselves to form a much more solid team that is going to take the company to the next level.
Who are the investors you're looking for? What's the profile, the investor persona you have in mind?
We are looking at angel investors as well as venture capitalists.
Let me close with motivation. What motivates you? Why are you doing this?
Our motivation is twofold. The first motivation is we look at sustainably feeding the region, with supporting people who are going to feed the region, because the population is growing and we need to match it with the feeding. So we are looking at that is a very big motivation. We really want to feed the region and our country, because the population is growing and food is a very basic item. And the second motivation is we want to set up an agriculture bank, a bank that is going to be for the farmers and support the farmers and the different value chains.
Moses, thank you so much, but don't go. Stay here, because we are bringing all our founders right now back. As we close, and as we always do, we like to close with a statement from each of you. And my question is, and let me start with you, Moses. Why invest in yourself, your team, and your project?
Sorry, come again, Max. I didn't hear you.
Why? Why investors should invest in yourself, your team, and your project?
Okay. We please invest in Framos Microfinance, because we are providing a very critical service in our country, and that is financial services. We are supporting people who are going to produce food, nutritious food as well. We are going to provide employment to the youth. We are going to turn ourselves into a commercial bank, an agriculture bank, and we are going to be much more profitable. And whoever comes to invest with us will always smile back.
Thank you, Moses. Lidel, why investing?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Max. I will just take it short. Investing in us is investing in food security, is investing in food wastage, is investing in that poor woman and that poor youth in the interior who basically depend on cassava as a means to have income to finance the children going to school. Because if you invest in us and we get the machines, we will equally buy the root and tuber crops from the local woman, process and sell, and that local woman will be able to have the income to finance the children.
Thank you so much, Lidel. Yashina, why? You're muted. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Okay. Yeah, we need to save the humanity, really, because there is a lot of children without have the possibility to eat anything. So we need our goal is to save the humanity. We need to invest in Algeria in order to develop our project and export it around the world, especially in Asia, Africa, and Latin America.
Thank you so much, Ashina. We still have effort. I don't know if effort is still with us or maybe has some problem left. Meanwhile, we are waiting for effort and closing of pitch event. Today is the first pitch event we do dedicated to Africa. We are more than willing to do others. So all African funders coming from everywhere from Africa. Africa is huge. It's massive, guys. So we can have tons of very smart guys coming and pitching for what we call impact for Africa. I don't know if effort is coming. Anyway, we cannot wait more because we have 3 minutes to go. I hope you join us soon. Otherwise, thank you so much, Yachine, Moses, Effort, and the leader. Thank you very much for being with us today and pitch your great ideas. I do wish all the best to you, your country, and we'll be back again. I hope as soon as possible with another Impact for Africa event. And thank you to everyone who's watching today. And again, you can get in touch with our funders directly. We don't charge any form of success fee. So funders, effort, you are here. Let's me close this and after I'm back to you, right? We still have 2 minutes. Funders are here to get funded. EquityMatch does not charge any money to our funders when it comes to get investments. So you can reach them directly or come to us and we make a warm introduction to them. Now we still have 1 minute, Effort, and I thought you were away. Why invested in your startup, Effort?
The first and the most important thing to me is when you invest in our startup, you are investing in a business that prides itself in opportunity with persons living with disability and women as well. So that's our hallmark as a person of disability myself with dyslexia and ADHD. So I'm a strong believer of building a business. So when you invest in this, you invest in a business that support persons living with disability as well too. But the second and most important thing is about employment and business opportunity for the teeming youth. In Africa, we have our population is 70% less than 30 years. So we have the energy, we have the manpower. So investing in us, you get your return in the shortest possible time and youth employment as well too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Effort. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, our audience, and I hope I see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Mr.
Thank you very much, Max.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
I wish all the best to the founder. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.